This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on India's progress in doubling farmers' income. The participants are Dr. K.C. Bansal, Secretary, National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, and Nilaranjan, Agriculture Expert. Interviewer is Rajesh Lake, Akashvani correspondent.
To discuss India's progress in doubling farmers' income, the government has adopted and implemented several developmental programs, schemes, reforms and policies for reducing input cost on agriculture, higher production and for achieving higher incomes for the farmers. Niraj, would you elaborate on the initiatives taken by the government towards this?
Yeah, thank you, Rajesh. There are multiple initiatives which the government has taken in last 8 years. If you look at the cumulative in terms of the budget allocation, 2013-14, the budget allocation was 30,000 crore. And now this is more than 1,38,000 crore. So there is huge jump of 4.59% in terms of the budget allocations. That shows that the government commitment in terms of bringing new policy where the farmer can get benefit. And that's why the purpose, as you said, that reductions in the input cost and higher production and the higher income of the farmer. The first of all, important is the income support to the farmer through PM Kisan. In 2019, the government started income support schemes where 6,000 rupees per year in 3 equal installments. And so far, more than 2.24 lakh crore has been released to 11 crore farmers. This is very important because during the farming, the farmer needs cash to bring some product in the farming. And this cash is a big support to them, especially the small and marginal farmer, to take the agriculture more fruitful way. Second is that most of the problem in the agriculture is the fasal, bima, because risk is high agriculture because most of the rain-fed agriculture. The 6 years back, PM Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana was initiated, and in last 6 years, 38 crore farmer application has been received, and around 12.37 crore farmer application claim has been already processed. So this is also important initiative of the government because the kind of the premium the farmer is giving in the form of the benefit they are getting is a 5 times more than that for the agriculture and the animal husbandry.
Dr. Bansal, Government of India had constituted an inter-ministerial committee in April 2016 to examine issues relating to doubling a farmer's income. Would you elaborate on what were these issues and what strategies were recommended to achieve them?
I think the objective of this was to double the productivity of the farmers, because which was not happening, it seems, for the several years, and therefore there's an emphasis now to double the income of these farmers, because our country is mostly an agrarian-based economy, and keeping that objective in mind, I think it's important if we can do all that which is possible to increase the farmers' income.
Okay. Niraj, how has the fixing of the minimum support price, MSP, at 1.5 times the cost of production, along with promotion of organic farming in the country, helped the farmers increase their income?
The government has increased MSP for all the mandated Kharif, Rabi and other commercial crops with the returns of at least 50% overall India, which is an average cost of production from 1890. MSP for paddy has been increased to 2,040 rupees per quintal in 2022-23 from 1,300 per quintal in 2013-14. So this is also an increase of 700 in 7 years. And MSP for the wheat has increased from 1,400 per quintal in 13-14 to 2,125 per quintal. So average there is 100 to 200 rupees increase every year incremental in the MSP. That is also a big boost for the farming. And second thing is promotion of organic farming. That is Krishi Vikas Yojana has introduced this organic farming, and global market look at that. There's a lot of demand for the organic produce, and this organic farmer, the income is 2 times in some of that. Like that, if you introduce the organic cotton, globally it is a huge demand for the organic cotton. So initial input is high, but after 2 years, we shift to the organic crop. It has a more benefit, not only in the India market, but also for export. It has a lot of benefit out of that. That is an important change where the government has giving a lot of incentive of the farmer to go for organic. And it is also going gradual way so that we don't have the impact on the supply.
Okay. Now, I would like you to concentrate a bit on the setting up of the National Agriculture Market, ENAM in short, this extension platform, if you could elaborate on that.
That is also a very important initiative of the government. So around 1260 mandis in 22 states and 3 UT has been integrated with ENAM. And as on 29 November, more than 1.75 crore farmers and around 2.37 lakh traders has been registered on the ENAM. The total volume of 6.8 metric tons and 20 crore numbers, bamboo, betel leaf, coconut, lemon, sweet corn, collectively has traded through the ENAM. So earlier, most of the trading happened as a local market, where the farmers are not able to get the right price and they also not have to connect with the larger market. But this platform help at least for the farmers who are doing cash crops and to connect with the better market. And this platform actually help the small farmer who never think of the selling the price at the larger market, which is not accessible to them. This platform has given them, farmer, to negotiate and get best price of the produce they are doing it.
Dr. Bansal, you mentioned that technology plays a role in improving the farm yield and results in better income for the farmers. Would you elaborate as to what has over the years been done in area of technology and the improvement of the seed, which yields better results?
Right. In fact, farmers' income can be increased through various ways. So one of the ways is the input cost can be reduced. The farmer will incur this cost for buying the seeds, buying the fertilizers, for water, for electricity, for agrochemicals, for the preparation of the land, and all those agronomic practices which are required to produce maximum out of whatever the land he or she has. So one of the major integral component of this input cost is the seed. While the seed cost is not as high as the cost is of other inputs, like I said before, fertilizers, agrochemicals, or even labor for removing the weeds from the plants. But if we can empower the seed in such a way that the farmer will not be able to therefore give a lot of water, will not be required to give a lot of water to the fields, or will be doing away with only less spray of chemicals, or will be given less emphasis on fertilizers. So there is a possibility by using some of these technologies today that we can empower the plants which will have inbuilt resistance to many of those insect pests or to diseases, or will have an efficiency of utilizing some of those natural resources like fertilizers and water more efficiently. And as a result, there will be at least 25 to 30% more production of the whole crop from a particular land area. And one of the major concerns today for the farmers is how to remove the weeds. Weeds are those unwanted plants which anyway have to grow along with the crop of economic interest to us. So therefore those weeds also compete with the crop for taking away water and minerals and nutrients from the soil. So the question is, how do we get rid of these weeds so that our crop only can survive better, can produce maximum yield? So one of the ways which we have been using over the years is manual weeding. And labor nowadays is becoming very expensive. At times we heard they are not even available at the right time when they are required by the farmers to remove those weeds. So this technology, GM technology particularly I'm talking about it, allows us to develop plants which are themselves tolerant to herbicides. That means when you spray herbicides, the weeds will be all killed, whereas this particular crop will not be killed. So therefore this is a very big advantage. GM technology allows us to prepare the seeds in such a manner that with minimal input cost, you can have maximum output, and doubling the farmer's income will be an outcome of such a technology.
So, in all this, Dr. Bansal, what role does technology plays towards the benefit of the farmers?
See, in the previous year, government has taken two very important decisions for the welfare of farmers. One of them I briefly touched upon, the technology, we call it a genetic modification of crops, GM technology, by which we have been able to develop and commercialize in our country BT cotton, which is a GM technology which protects the cotton plants from damage by insect pests. And today, 95% of our cotton growing farmers are taking benefit of this technology. And there is a profitability increase to the level of about 60% if you see into the cost of pesticides which has come down, and number of sprays, etc. have come down, and the productivity is also increased. So overall profitability of these farmers has increased substantially. And in fact has added value to the economic development of our country as well, because we are now able to export cotton to international cotton market. The other technology which Government of India has provided benefit to researchers, to scientists, to develop crops high efficiency for the benefit of farmers is a genome editing technology. Genome editing technology has been exempted from biosafety regulation, as has been done by many other countries, including Australia, India, Canada, Japan, and many others. So India has also joined that league, and now we are able to develop, and Government of India is spending good amount of money to develop those efficient crops which farmers will be able to grow with less water, less fertilizers, less input of even agrochemicals, and productivity could be increased to 25 to even more %. And therefore, there's a strong possibility in the coming decade, or even before that, there's a possibility, for example, we're talking of commercializing rice, which will require 25% less water. Or we are trying to even develop direct seeded rice, which will also require less water. By saving on water, I'm sure you can save on input cost, and you can again try to help double the farmer's profitability. So these are two technologies, GM crop technology and genome editing technology, which was recently given a Nobel Prize in 2020 to two lady scientists. And that technology is bringing revolution throughout the world, not only in agriculture, even in health or pharma sector, for providing better health overall. So this is a wonderful technology. India is also going to take benefit soon about it. The research is already going on with more money being invested by Government of India, and also both public and private sector together doing this for benefit of farmers in the country.
Niraj, if you could talk about the startup ecosystem in agriculture and the allied sector.
In fact, the last November I was there when the Prime Minister has launched this program, and a lot of the young engineers, doctors also has started the startup and wanted to help the agriculture sector. And when the PM was there, he launched 20 best startups ecosystems here, and around 1,000 of the eco startups are now investing in the agriculture. And those startups will help farmer in terms of mechanizing the farmer, better use of the agriculture produce, and also the processing that, like the drone, like that local weather restrictions, the equipment to do the soil health, and also the water stress in the field. Also, there is multiple innovations happen that which identify which area is right areas for doing a boring for using the groundwater. So those kind of things, GIS mapping, multiple startup ecosystem has come, which is the most of them are tech-based. And earlier in the social sector, banking sector, telecom sector, some of the startups have come and they do this.
Okay.
But now this is actually helping the farmer community at a large.
Dr. Bansal, what kind of seed development is taking place and continues to take place so that we have better quality of seed?
Right. In fact, we need to change the genes in this living organism, that is seed. And by changing few of the genes, earlier it was not possible to change those genes precisely of the plant itself in an accurate manner. But now we can do it. So by changing these genes, you can bring in new traits into it. Productivity could be increased, and also their fighting capacity against diseases could be increased. So the plants will become more resistant to diseases. And if you can protect these plants from many of those emerging pathogens by using this technology, by changing few genes alone within the plant itself, so there is a possibility. This is what this technology allows, to develop seeds which are empowered to have inbuilt resistance to many of these diseases. It's easily possible. And that's what, not only this, I mean, many other traits of even quality, nutritional quality. Our government has been laying much emphasis on improving the nutrition quality of these crops. Our Honorable Prime Minister released large number of varieties and dedicated them to the nation, developed by Indian Council of Agricultural Research and other institutions, which are biofortified for various phytonutrients, which will help increase immunity. So we can now do that, achieve that again in an accelerated manner using these genome editing technologies as well, to develop the seeds even better, and they will be able to produce higher productivity as well.
Yes, so it's heartening to note that besides the schemes that the government of India has launched, the farmer's income is also going to be boosted by the continuous R&D and continuous improvement in the seed quality. So thank you so much for being with Akashvani.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on India's progress in doubling farmers' income. The participants were Dr. K.C. Bansal, Secretary, National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, and Nilay Ranjan, Agriculture Expert. Interviewer was Rajesh Lake, Akashvani Correspondent. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR.